Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. My name is Chris and I'm actually in a different area. I'm once again back in St. Petersburg. Here's Zach, my brother. Say hi, Zach.
Hello.
And we're gonna check out some pawn shops and a thrift shop around here because there's actually a bunch in this area in addition to the ones that I have back home. So we're gonna take a look, do some game hunting, see what we can find. Let's go. First stop is Cash America, a different Cash America in St. Pete. Let's go check it out, see what we can find. Okay. Thank you. How are you doing, y'all? Good, how are you? If you need anything, let me know. Will do. All right. I see a bunch of consoles. And guns. Excuse me, do you have any video games?
What I have is in that first class.
Oh, okay, cool. I missed those. Ooh, we got some fun stuff in there. I see a Genesis, a Wii U, some Switch games, an SNES, which is kind of cool. Yeah, if we could take a look at a couple things. Out for $20. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's neat. So, what could you do for me on those two?
So I'll do the 16 on
Okay.
I'll do 16 on both of them.
16?
Yep.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Zach, you ready? Looking at some cool equipment. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh yeah. All right, we got some goods. Let's go check them out. All right, so not a huge selection, but we did pick up a couple retro cartridge-based games, which is not something you do very often. But I picked up two. First, we have Road Rash 2 on the Genesis. I don't have that many Genesis games. I have a little bit of a library now, but I figure that's a fun one. Might as well grab it. And then this one I got for Corey. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. We have WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge on the NES. Both of these games I paid $16 a piece for, which is not terrible for a retro game. I think I did okay on them. Anyway, we're going to head to our next place and see what we got. Our next stop is the Salvation Army, which I've never been in one, so this should be a fun time. Let's go in, see what we can find. All right. Some furniture. There's DVDs, bunch of music CDs. Of course, you want to look for that NTSC logo in case you find PS1 game. I do see one game that's sealed, but it's a Kinect Adventures, so definitely not worth taking. Oh no, there's a Just Dance 3. But it's Just Dance 3, so not really interested. I got some records. Yeah, I figured this would be kind of one of those places that gets picked over pretty quickly. Man, if we were getting stuff for Corey. Hold on, how good a condition is this?
$25.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm just finding stuff for Corey. Also, I found 2 games. Oh yeah, you ready for how quality these are? Connect Adventures sealed.
And Just Dance 3.
And Just Dance. Oh, there's another one I didn't see. Actually, hold on now. Connect Sports 2 actually might have some value.
Look at it.
I will.
I need to look at how exciting it is.
It's actually in perfect condition. I'm gonna look up Connect Sports 2 because that actually might have some value. So let's find out. So I looked it up. It's not worth much, but I think it's only going for like $2. So yeah, might as well go for it. Look around for a little bit more. See what else we can find. I think that's gonna do it. I found a couple cool things, so let's see what I can get. Alright, so as you saw, not a whole lot in there. Did pick up a couple things. One was a board game, which is a gift for Corey. Apparently today is just find stuff for Corey day. But I also did pick up Connect Sports Season 2 on the Xbox 360. I don't currently have a 360 Connect. I plan on getting another one in not too long. But this is a decent game. It's not worth a lot, but it's only $2 and figured it's worth grabbing, so. All right, on to one more pawn shop. Now we're back at the one pawn shop we went to the last time I was here, which is Pawn Max 2. Maybe they still got that really good deal going on games. We'll find out. Hello. Oh yeah. I see some stuff. I see one game in particular it looks on the original Xbox. State of Emergency. They have a lot of consoles. Oh boy, they have Kung Fu Panda on original Xbox. Oh, you see one I see?
What?
It's not worth $10 though.
What?
Actually, it's PS4 and Xbox One are $10. Look in that Xbox 360 pile. There's one that I talked about yesterday that I need.
Pocket Bike Racer.
Pocket Bike Racer.
There it is. I mean,
I'm also
sure.
kind of curious about these controllers because they have a lot of controllers. And if they're decently priced, that might be worth grabbing. But yeah, like I was looking at the more modern stuff. There's not really a lot in terms of stuff that's worth grabbing. It's a lot of older games that it's not really worth it. Like We Happy Few, Battlefront, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They have a lot of PS3s as well, which is interesting. I didn't really look at the PS3 games. I probably should. And then they have the one lone PS5 game in there, and it's Battlefield. There's some decent stuff in there, honestly. I'm mostly looking at the, oddly enough, it seems like the original Xbox seems to have the best games that look the most interesting to me. It's like, they have Outlaw Volleyball. That could be fun. Definitely State of Emergency. Can we take a look at a few games?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Okay. On the original Xbox pile, right here towards the bottom, State of Emergency. Yeah, that one. Let's see that one.
Just making sure it felt like the reason we moved them over here is because people were bucking games out of them.
I'm not at all surprised, man. Not at all surprised. Okay. Is it, okay. Okay. On that second stack of Xbox, there's a Outlaw Volleyball. It's upside down. That one, yeah. Let's take a look at that one. How much are y'all asking for the older games?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I haven't sold one of these in a while.
Oh, really?
I can't even remember.
Okay.
It's less than $5 a game.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's either 4 or 5. If you don't remember.
Okay.
Either 4 or 5.
Something like that.
If
Okay.
you get a few, I'll cut you a deal on them either way.
Awesome. Sounds good. I'm just curious. In the PS2 section, there's a game called Riding Star.
Right here?
Yeah. I saw that cover. I'm like, I have a feeling it's a bad horse game.
Yeah,
It's a bad horse game. Yeah.
It looks like a terrible horse game.
I'm down. It does look like a terrible horse game. What's behind those PSP movies? A lot of sports.
Sports games.
Yeah. Okay. What are those two cases that are not marked on top of the Xbox section? Yeah. What are those two? NBA. What's that one? Dance Dance Revolution. Fun.
Ultra Mix 4.
Oh man, what a gem right there. Let's see. There's a blank case on the second Xbox 360 pile. Let's see what that one is. Oh, Lost Planet. Okay. It's
That's a fun game.
It is a good game. Let's see. Look at that Need for Speed Underground.
Which stack?
That stack, that one right there.
Another classic.
Oh yeah. Like if it's in good shape, I'm always down for. But I don't have this one. I have 2 on GameCube, but I don't have the OG. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good shape. Okay. Let's see. Can I look at those SNES games? Just curious.
I'm pretty sure most are sports games, I'm gonna be honest.
I figured as much, but you know, it's always worth looking.
Not all of them.
But most of them. College football, basketball, college slam, Madden. Oh, a racing game. Yeah, that's what I figured. All right. That same stack right behind the NES games, or SNES games, Pocket Bike Racer. It's the one Burger King game I don't have for some reason. It's sealed! Absolutely. Okay. One of those blank cases on top of the PS3.
Black Ops.
Okay. Oh, Red Faction? Can I see that one?
I've actually never played that. Is it fun?
Yeah. It's the sequel to Red Faction Guerrilla. It's pretty good. Okay, that one's good. Let's see. What's that case at the end of the PS3 section? Battlefield Bad Company. Okay.
Bad Company 2 was better.
Oh yeah, I have Bad Company 2 on Xbox. All right. Just curious, how much are you asking for your PS4 controllers? 35? Okay.
I generally do it for 30.
Okay. Good to know. Let's see. Trying to make sure I looked at everything.
We get some cool older NES, Sega stuff out sometimes, but my boss is really into older game consoles.
So they grab them real
they're
quick.
already snagged up.
That's understandable. I mean, that's mostly what I've been hunting for lately. Because like the newer stuff, it's a dime a dozen, but like the older stuff, that's where it's kind of tough to find. I think there's a random envelope on top of that PS2 section. What's in that one? And shell. Okay. Oh, there's a slim case on the bottom of the Xbox section. Yeah, let's see what that is. Oh, it's one of the arcade discs. Those are fun. I'll look at that real quick. Used to be in magazines. That's kind of cool. I'm good on that. See. I think that'll do for me.
Thank you, boss.
Nice 6 games, so not too bad. Definitely gotta be stoked to try the Bad Horse game. So every day you see a banjo at a pawn shop. That's kind of cool.
We get a bunch of different string instruments in here. That's definitely people's favorites to bring us, but
Makes sense.
we get a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Let's count that. 4 OG Xbox games.
Yeah.
$3 for the Xbox games.
Okay.
And,
PS2.
it comes out to $18.93.
Sounds good. Sweet. Thank you very much.
Have a good one, man.
You too. Solid score there. We got a nice bundle. We'll go over them in the car. All right, that was a fun score. We picked up a bunch of games and paid a grand total of $18. So all of these were slightly more than each of the 2 old school games we got. So this was clearly the best deal of the day. And I think I picked up some solid games I don't have in my personal collection. So we're going to start off with Red Faction Armageddon on the PS3. It's in kind of a busted PS3 case, but the disc is in good shape. Dirt cheap. Figured it was worth grabbing. This one I got simply because it looks horrible, but also it's clearly a late PS2 game, and I think it would be kind of fun to play as, like, maybe for my Bad Game series in the future. Riding Star on the PS2. It's a terrible looking horse racing game, or horse game. Yeah, it looks bad, but I think it'd be kind of a funny addition to my collection and a conversation starter for sure. Then we went to some good stuff. We got ourselves Need for Speed Underground on the Xbox. This is a classic racing game, really fun. I have 2 on the GameCube, so I figured I might as well get the first one if I can find it. And this one's complete too. So it's in pretty good shape. Glad to add a complete OG Xbox game to the collection. This one's one you don't see very often, so I figured I'd grab it. We have Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot, which is a Blockbuster exclusive on the original Xbox. It's kind of a dumb, cartoony volleyball game. I'm sure it's not very good, but it's not every day you find a Blockbuster exclusive original Xbox game, so I figured it was worth grabbing. This one's probably the best grab of the day because I know this game is popular. Don't know if it's backwards compatible or not. I'll find out, I guess. We have State of Emergency on the original Xbox. So, of course, the cover art is not original. It's a printed cover art, and it does not have a manual in it. But the disc is authentic, and it is a NTSC copy. It's in decent shape. So, I know that game probably has a little bit of value, so I figured it was worth grabbing. And then the one that I'm probably the most excited about, which I have no reason to be excited about this, but I used to have this game. I somehow lost it, and I've been missing it for a long time. I hadn't found a good copy that I could get for a cheap price. Not only did I find one for a cheap price, but I found it sealed. So I had to get it. Pocket Bike Racer on the Xbox/Xbox 360. It is a sealed copy. I'm probably going to keep it sealed, let's be honest. I think that's just funny that I have a sealed copy of Pocket Bike Racer. So yeah, 6 games, $18. I think overall we had a pretty solid run. Picked up some decent stuff to add to the collection. All right, as you can see, I am back in my home, and it is time to go over everything that I picked up from St. Pete, as well as a couple things I picked up from my local GameStop. So we'll kick it off with those 2, and then we're going to get into the game hunting stuff. So I went to my local GameStop to pick up a brand new release game. I'm glad I pre-ordered it because apparently I didn't get too many of them. And that was Live Alive on the Nintendo Switch. If you don't know what this is, it is a game that was originally released on the Super Nintendo only in Japan. Never got a Western release. That they remastered in that 2.5D art style and brought over to the West for the first time on the Switch. What's cool about it is there's like 7 different There's 8 different campaigns. So it's like a bunch of little stories combined into one epic RPG. I started it when I was in St. Pete. I honestly really enjoyed what I played, so I'm excited to play more of it. So, cool little game. If you're looking for a JRPG to play, this is one I think you're going to want to pick up. I paid $27 plus $23 in credit. So I paid $27 out of pocket, but I had $23 in credit, and it's worth $50. Anyway, I also returned one of the games I picked up online because I already had it. And in its place, I got Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on the Xbox One. This is a game I've needed to own, I guess, for a while, even though it is an online-only game. I didn't own it, so I needed it to complete my Call of Duty collection. I haven't played it. I don't know when I'm going to play it, but I figure I should. It was $3 out of pocket because it didn't apply for the promotion because I didn't buy 4 games together, so I had to pay $3 out of pocket, but it is worth $9, so not terrible. But then we went to the game hunting, and the game hunting was fun. So we went to 2 different pawn shops as well as a thrift shop. Came away with some decent stuff. So we're going to start off with our first pawn shop, which is Cash America. This Cash America did not have the inventory that my local Cash America has, but they did have something that my local Cash America does not, and that is retro cartridge-based games. You don't see stuff like this very often, so I had to bite. So the first game we picked up is Road Rash 2 on the Sega Genesis. It's a fun racing game. I do have a Sega Genesis, and I'm trying to build up that collection, so I figure if I can get a fun racing game for the Genesis, might as well grab it. I paid $16 for this, and it's worth $13, so it's a little bit of a loss, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. The other game that I picked up, mostly for Corey, because he's trying to build up a wrestling game collection, and I figured, it'd be kind of interesting to see how this plays, is WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge on the NES. So this is actually my second NES game after Super Mario Bros. 3, which came with my NES. It's a wrestling game on the NES. It looked interesting, so I figured I'd grab it, and I'm sure Corey will have to check it out when I can get my NES working. I paid $16 for this one as well, and it's worth $10. So again, a bit of a loss, but again, you don't see retro cartridge-based games that often, so I think it was worth the gamble. Next, we went to the Salvation Army, where I picked up a board game for Corey. Again, another wrestling-related thing. It was a pretty heavy video where I got a bunch of stuff for Corey. But I did pick up one thing because it was dirt cheap, and eventually I am going to get another Kinect where I can play it. That is Kinect Sports Season 2 on the Xbox 360. I never played Season 2. Played Season 1 when it came out because I bought a Kinect at launch. Never played this one. There weren't that many games at the Salvation Army, but this was one of them that was decent, so I figured, you know what, I'll grab it, especially because it was only $2. And it's actually worth $7, so I actually got a little bit of value back for that. And then we went to Pawn Max 2, or Max Pawn 2. That's where we picked up the majority of our stuff, and we got some decent stuff from that place. A really good deal. Essentially, we paid $18 for all of this. And I'm pretty happy with it. We're going to start off with this. Now, I did replace the case because the case that it was in was kind of garbage. So, we have a case that has Red Faction Armageddon on the PS3. I wasn't sure if I'd own this game. I don't, so that's good. So I figured I'd add it to the collection. I paid $3 for this, and it is worth $4. So it's not worth a ton. But hey, it's a game I didn't have in the collection. Figured I'd grab it. This one I got just because it was silly. That's literally it. Riding Star on the PS2. It is a horse game. You know those quality PS2 horse games. Well, I doubt this is one of them. It looks bad. I think it'll be a fun game to play on perhaps bad games eventually. But it's a complete PS2 game, and I figured, you know what, why not? So I paid $3 for this, it's worth $5. So it's not worth a ton either, but that's okay. Now we're getting to the heavy hitters. So I got a bunch of original Xbox games, and a lot of these you're not going to find very often. So for starters, we have Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot on the Xbox. It is a Blockbuster exclusive. If you remember Blockbuster, it was a video rental chain I used to go to all the time growing up. We used to rent movies and buy games and stuff there. Been gone for a while, thanks Netflix, but they used to have exclusive games like Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot. Paid $3 for this, and it is worth $9, so it actually has some value. Next up, we have Need for Speed Underground on the Xbox. This is a classic racing game. Need for Speed Underground and Underground 2 are very fondly remembered entries in the Need for Speed series. I own Underground 2 on the GameCube. Didn't own the first one, so now I have it on the Xbox. Paid $3 for this, and it is also worth $9. So another decent addition, and it is complete and in pretty good shape. So glad to add Need for Speed Underground to my collection. This one was one where as soon as I saw it, I'm like, well, you don't see this game very often, so I figured I had to grab it. That is stated emergency on the Xbox. Now the cover art is printed. The case is not original, but the disc is, and it is in good shape. So it's a game made by Rockstar back in the early 2000s. It looks interesting. I've never played it, but I figured I might as well grab it. $3 for this, and in loose condition, it's actually worth $9. So this one actually has some pretty decent value. And then last but certainly not least, the game that I was honestly the most excited about, just because of the fact that it's the one that I've been missing for a while in my collection, and it's sealed. We have Pocket Bike Racer on the Xbox 360 / original Xbox. This is the final Burger King game. I used to own it back in the day. I somehow lost it years ago. I think when I moved to this place, or one of my ex-roommates stole it. I think that's what happened. But I was missing this one. I have Big Bumpin' and I have Sneak King, but I didn't have Pocket Bike Racer. Well, I got it back, and I got it sealed. And honestly, I'm going to keep it sealed, because it's not every day you're going to find a sealed copy of Pocket Bike Racer. Anyway, I paid $3 for this, and it is worth $4 sealed, which is ironically how much these games cost when they came out. But it's still worth the same amount all these years later. And that's it. So it wasn't exactly the biggest profit day going to the pawn shops in St. Pete, but it was still fun to go check out places that I don't always get to see. So I'll take what I can get. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. We got new Bargain Game Hunter videos every week. Don't miss them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week on the Bargain Game Hunter. Bye-bye.